It's 11 trivia questions on Tree Villa. That's right. It's a play on words of trivia and villa, and it's all about houses, as picked by Patreon subscriber Matt Pawlik. This is Trivia with Buds. What it be, and welcome to another episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Buds. Thanks for checking out the show, and thanks for leaving iTunes reviews. If you dig the show or don't dig the show, leave a review and let me know in an email so I can send you some cool stuff in the mail. Just send me an email, ryanbuds@gmail.com. Say, hey, my name is Goat Sleeper 65, and I left a review the other day, and I would like a bottle opener or whatever, and I will send you some cool stuff in the mail. I might even send you a thank you card or one of these very interesting cards that I'm going to show off on YouTube. You might get a kick out of just hearing them as well on the podcast. These are from a store at the mall by my house, and that store is called, I forget. What the heck is it called? It's like Papyrus, but it's not Papyrus. Something with fun cards. They have like notebooks and cards and backpacks and stuff. So they have this big section at the back that is all clearance cards, and some are birthday, anniversary, etc. So I thought these were fun. This one just says Pizza Party Bed. Pizza Party Bed. You could send that to your best pal if they like pizza party in bed. Best wishes to you on your wedding day. Just a nice traditional kind of card. This one's great. It says happy birthday, old chap. And you have a nice guy in black and white from way back in the day with a slick haircut winking at you. Happy birthday, old chap. Cheers to the king. And you have the king from a deck of cards. This is how much I love you. This is a pop-up card, and I haven't even opened it yet, but it gets really, really big and wide. So it's like, this is how much I love you. This is great. I'm really going to miss your face. That's a going away card, and you got a big gorilla there with some cool pop art effects. And cheers to the amazing couple. That's if you know somebody getting married. Cheers to the amazing couple. Here's to getting laid on your birthday. There's a nice old 60s picture of a guy and a girl in Hawaii or some sort of Hawaiian set. And Merry Christmas to my favorite wizard. That's a great Harry Potter licensed card. So I thought I would share those, just a few fun ones. If you have some events coming up, go check out this store at the mall that I don't remember the name of. You will, I think it's, I just got it. It's called Typo, Typo. Typo is the name of that store. And they have it at the Ontario Mills Mall in Ontario, California, but maybe they have one at your mall too. Today's episode is a Patreon topic pick from the old Patreon spreadsheet. If you want to know what that is, go to patreon.com/trivia with buds and donate $5 or more. I give you access to an ongoing Google Sheet that we have, and you can enter any topics you want for every month. You are a patron of the show. My friend Jordan and Wreck My Podcast, he's gone on there and he has filled in the entire year. So he's got a lot of good picks coming up. Jen Wojnar did that too. She wants Mulan in March, 2010 musicals, or the decade of 2010s. That's what she's saying. Musicals from the decade 2010 to 20. The Greatest Showman specifically, Captain Marvel, and more. So you can go on there and you can do that. You can pick whatever you want to do as a topic on the show. And if you are at the $20 tier or higher, you get to be a guest on the show. So if that's something that interests you, if you have something you want to promote, or you just like answering trivia questions on Skype or in person, if you live near me in Southern California, you could be on the show. Getting ready to record a bunch of episodes with Chicago's own Brenda Martinez in the next few weeks to catch up on the ones that we've missed for her rewards over the last few months. Today's topic is from Matt Pawlik, and for the first topic he picked last month, he did Trivia, which was a play on words about tree-related trivia, and he's done it again this month. It's Trivia, or Villa, Tree Villa, and it's like a house-related thing. So it's going to be a ton of fun, houses and building-related trivia. I think you will have a bunch of fun with these. We're going to jump into these 11 questions right now. Here we go. All right, here's the first question in your famous houses quiz written by Mike Maksimchuk. Mike says, there's no place like home, especially these humble abodes. A quiz on famous houses, some real and some from movies. Here's number 1. Falling Water is a house built partly over a waterfall on Bear Run in Pennsylvania. Who designed this house? Question number 1, who designed a famous house called Falling Water? Question number 2, this 1986 movie stars Tom Hanks and Shelley Long as a young couple struggling to repair a hopelessly dilapidated house. What is that movie from 86? Number 2. Question number 3, this historic chateau-esque style mansion was built for George Vanderbilt II and is in Asheville, North Carolina. What is that famous historic mansion? Number 3. Question number 4, this fantasy/romance movie is about a relationship that forms between an architect and the doctor who lived in his new house 2 years previously. Only able to communicate by passing letters in the house's mailbox, the pair begin to fall in love. What is that movie? Number 4. Question number 5, this other Vanderbilt Italian Renaissance mansion is located in Newport, Rhode Island. The mansion was built as the Newport summer home of Cornelius Vanderbilt II. What was the name of the mansion? Question number 6, when George and Kathy Lutz move into a beautiful new house in a small town upstate New York, they think the place is too good to be true. In what movie do they find out the cheap price tag is thanks to the house's sordid history? The former tenant murdered his family after supposedly being possessed by the devil. What scary movie is that? Number 6. Question number 7, this house and estate was the primary plantation of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the U.S., who began designing this house after inheriting land from his father at age 26. What is that famous estate? Number 7. And question number 8, what Stephen King book-turned-movie features a psychology professor, a team of psychics, and a gifted girl who awaken spirits in a supposedly dormant, haunted mansion? What book is that? Number 8. Question number 9, this 1930 painting by Grant Wood is in the collection of the Art Institute of Chicago. Wood was inspired to paint a house in Eldon, Iowa, along with the kind of people I fancied should live in that house. What is the name of that house and painting? Number 9. And question number 10, the House of the Seven Gables is a 1668 colonial mansion in Salem, Massachusetts, named for its gables. The house was made famous by what American author who wrote The House of the Seven Gables in 1851? Who wrote The House of the Seven Gables in 1851? And number 11, what mansion located on a Louisiana plantation is named for its distinguishing visual feature, an 800-foot-long alley created by a double row of southern live oak trees planted in the early 18th century, long before the present house was built? What is the name of that famous location? Those are all your questions for today's quiz for Matt Pawlik. Matt, I hope you had fun with these house-related questions. And Mike Maksimchuk, thanks for writing them. We'll be right back in just a second with the answers. We are back with the answers to Tree Villa, which is a fun little thing Matt Pawlik came up with. Thank you, Matt, and thank you, Mike, for writing the questions. Here's number 1. Falling Water is a house built partly over a waterfall on Bear Run in Pennsylvania. Who designed this house? That was Frank Lloyd Wright. When in doubt, guess Frank Lloyd Wright as a famous designer of a famous house. Number 1. Number 2, this 1986 movie stars Tom Hanks and Shelley Long as a young couple struggling to repair a hopelessly dilapidated house. That's The Money Pit. Number 2, The Money Pit. Number 3, this historic chateau-esque style mansion was built for George Vanderbilt II and is in Asheville, North Carolina. That is called the Biltmore Estate. The Biltmore Estate. Number 4, this fantasy romance movie is about a relationship that forms between an architect and a doctor who lived in his house 2 years previously. That movie is called The Lake House with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. And I remember they built the house for it, on a small little lake in Willow Springs, Illinois, not far from where I grew up, and a place called the Ashbury Coffee House, where I did some of my first stand-up shows in Chicagoland. So we used to go and look at that around 2004, 2005, I think it was. We would drive and go try and find the lake house from the lake house. Number 5, this other Vanderbilt Italian Renaissance mansion is located in Newport, Rhode Island. The mansion was built as the Newport summer home of Cornelius Vanderbilt II. That is called The Breakers. The Breakers. Number 6. When George and Kathy Lutz moved into their beautiful house, they didn't know why it was so cheap, but it was because the last guy killed his family there. Amityville Horror is that movie. Number 6, The Amityville Horror, remade in 2005 or so with Ryan Reynolds. That's the only one I've seen, actually. Number 7, This House and Estate was the primary plantation of Thomas Jefferson that was called Monticello. Monticello, home of Indiana Beach, Monticello, Indiana, which is closing. I just saw not too long ago. I may have mentioned it on the podcast, but that was where we went on our family vacations every year, Indiana Beach to Monticello, Indiana. Also the name of that estate from Thomas Jefferson. Number 8, what Stephen King book turned movie features the psychology professor, a team of psychics, and a gifted girl who awakens spirits? Rose Red. Rose Red. Number 9, this 1930 painting by Grant Wood is in the Art Institute of Chicago, and it's about an Iowa house. It's called the American Gothic House. American Gothic. And number 10, The House of the Seven Gables is a 1668 colonial mansion in Salem, Massachusetts. Who wrote The House of the Seven Gables in 1851? Nathaniel Hawthorne. Nathaniel Hawthorne. And your final question and answer, what mansion located on a Louisiana plantation has that 800-foot-long alley that is called Oak Alley? And there you have it, 11 questions and answers for Matt Pawlik. I hope you had fun playing along with those, Matt, and everybody else who listens to and watches the show. If you want to support the show like Matt does, go to patreon.com/triviawithbuds and sign up for one of the tiers between $1 and $50. For $50 a month, you get access to all of my live trivia slides that I use at all my live trivia nights. So if you're a trivia host, that may be the one for you. And for just $1, you get access to our Discord app chat where you can chat with other trivia-minded folks and have some fun interacting with pop culture things I post on there. Extra puzzles and games and links and blogs and things. So go check that out. You also get a thanks in all the show notes of every episode. And sometimes I give you a verbal thanks on the show by reading those names out loud. Guys, thanks for listening to the show. Thanks for telling a friend about the show. But before we get out of here, we have a question of the day brought to you by me. And that question of the day is, which ingredients are used for making ants on a log? What ingredients are used to make something called ants on a log? Tweet me your answer at RyanBuds or email ryanbuds@gmail.com to be eligible for a prize. Yesterday's question of the day answer was the Devil's Rejects, and your trivia team name of today is Menace to Sobriety. Thank you for listening to the show. Thanks for telling a friend about the show, and we'll see you tomorrow for more Trivia with Buds. Cheers.